Everyone, and welcome back to Lauren's Take. Okay, so today we are going to be discussing my January reads. So this is my January 2024 wrap-up video. I read a total of 8 books already, for my total of 75 via Goodreads. It was fun. It was a lot of love story situations in January. As y'all know, I was saying that I have been home pretty much all of January. I took a break from school before the spring semester, so because I had been sick, as y'all know from the Percy Jackson videos, why it got delayed, because I had been sick for a bit, so I just didn't do J-term. So that's why I was able to read so much, and it was kind of fun because I was able to read all these different love story situations. I was in the process of rereading Shadowhunters, and one of the novels that I have are one of the Shadowhunters novels, but I wanted to push myself to read some other things before I got back into rereading that fully. I may just be like reading a book, reading other stuff, read a book, other stuff, so that way I'm not rereading so much. But anyway, before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and let's get into it. Alright, so for the very first book that I finished in 2024, it was Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, which of course is a sequel to Fourth Wing. As I mentioned in my best books of 2023 and my end of year wrap up, I had read Fourth Wing last year, and I told y'all I had started reading this. I hadn't finished it, but I finished it at the beginning of 2024. I really enjoyed this novel. I think I liked it more than Fourth Wing, which is crazy because Fourth Wing was a trip, but this was so good. I really enjoyed it. I loved all the love story situations. I loved all the plot situations. It was a lot going on, but we made it through. But the ending of this, y'all, I cannot wait for the third novel. It's going to be a great time situation. But this was definitely a really great read. Alright, so the next few novels that I read were actually on the Kindle because of course, I'm trying not to buy too many novels, at the beginning of the year. I'm trying to keep it kind of clean right now, look at some of the books I have. But, of course, I still had to look at new books on the Kindle. And so one of the books I found I actually got via Prime Reading, which was called Grumpy Romance by Nia Arthurs. It was a BWWM love story. The series is like Billionaire Dads, so I was on a whole nother level this year. I don't know what it is, but this novel was really cute. I really loved the main characters as well. Their banter was hilarious. I will say I think I gave this story about 3 stars on Goodreads, mainly because it was written in 2021, but there were some kind of problematic identity things that were said in terms of just things that she would say about her best friend and then how he would kind of look at her. It was kind of fetishizing black women a little bit. So I don't know. It's weird because it's a black female author, which is weird. I'm like, sis, why are you allowing this dude to do that? But it was weird. The story overall was really good. I really enjoyed the story, but I will say it was just kind of, there were times I was like, I want to do that. So that's why I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads. The next book that I read was called 1 Week in Paradise by Anise Starr. As you all know, this was actually the first book in the, I don't know if it's a series. It's like Flights and Romance or something. I don't know. It's really cute. But it's the first book to the book that I've mentioned last year that I read, One Last Job. So it's her best friend in 1 Week in Paradise, and this one was so good. I finished it in a day. It was a fun ride. It was adorable. It was a really quick read, and it was just really cute. Also, interracial love story. Sister girl main character again. I really did enjoy the story. Definitely check it out if you just want a quick, cute, romantic little scandalous read if you want. It was a really good book. Alright, next up I read Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. This is of course a reread situation. This is the second book in the Infernal Devices series. After I finished reading this novel, I will say I kept putting this one back, I would pick it up, put it down from time to time because again I was reading other stuff. I was still finishing the school year, so I finally just devoted my time to finishing it. And I remembered this being my favorite of the Infernal Devices novels. But I think this book, what it did for me is made me realize that I am, in fact, a Team Will type of girl. Which is funny because this is his time to shine. But after I reread Will's love declaration to Tessa, When I tell y'all, I was crying and just in awe and depressed because I'm like, why can't I have this? You know? That had me messed up. And I just somehow forgot his love declaration. Somehow. And, or completely over, like, I don't even know what I did with it. And then also the fact that Tessa afterwards was so devastated that she, oh my gosh, took the poker and burned her hand on. I was like, this is not good. You shouldn't do that, Tessa. But like the pain of that and how she's like, I love Jem, but like, jeez, just hurts because it's such a tough situation. I don't know how I ever, like, of course I am still, like, my heart still loves Jem, but Will, my man, I don't know. In Front of Devices may be my fave out of all of them. I don't know, because I really love Last Hours. And the funny thing is, I've always been like, Mortal Instruments is my fave, hands down. But rereading, I don't know what it is. I think I love love declarations that are in time periods in which a lot of times, or I think when the love declarations are so meaningful, and just like the people, like they read, like the people read, the men read. And that's why I think everyone loves Pride and Prejudice. I think that's why so many people love books that take place in this era, because the love declarations are everything. And I'm talking too much about this book, but lovely reread. I don't know. Infernal Devices may be my favorite series in the Shadowhunters Chronicles. I don't know. We'll see once I finish rereading. We're going to do a re-look at it, but yeah. All right, so we are halfway through my January reading situation. The next book that I read was Her Good Side by Rebecca Weatherspoon. I'm sorry. I have like my Goodreads like split screen. But anyway, Her Good Side by Rebecca Weatherspoon. This was a BWAM, so Black Woman, Asian Man love story. I was reading all the love stories, all the interracial love stories, it seemed. This book was good. It was YA. I really enjoyed it. I read almost all of it in one day. But my problem with this book is the ending. I think the book was extremely good the entire time until we got to the ending. It was just so unnecessary, just randomly dramatic at the end, because sis was like, let's add some drama at the end. And then their like love declaration was like, oh yeah, I kind of like you. He was like, oh yeah, I like you too. Want to date? Yeah, let's date. Cool. I thought it was horrendous. Like, I was like, what? Like, the book had been so good, and then it just got ruined by the ending. So I think I gave the book like 5. It says 5 stars in Goodreads, but I really give it more like 4.5 because that ending was horrendous. But the whole book itself was really good. So we're just going to keep going. But that was kind of unfortunate. And then the next book I read was another Kindle read called Yours in Amsterdam by Raina Starlet. This was a novel that was actually just published at the end of 2023, December 29th, I believe, 2023. Another interracial love story, very, very cute. I really enjoyed this one. It was a, travel situation. Sis went to Amsterdam after a really bad breakup and, met this really cute guy that ended up being her best friend's brother. And they just automatically hit it off. They had some, funny meet cute situations, but it was a really, really cute story. I've read this pretty quickly as well. Did I read it all in one day? I don't think I read it all in one day, but it was like a day and a half. I think it took me to read it, and I really enjoyed it. It was really, really good. Then the 7th book that I read was called The 5-Year Secret. This is a prime reading novel. I think I gave it like 3 stars. I really wanted to give it 2, but I'm too kind to do that, I think. It wasn't my fave. Another interracial love story. This one, the characters were just so annoying that I was just trying to read it just to get through it. It took me a while because when I get annoyed with characters, I start like disassociating and not wanting to finish it. But I'm pushing myself to finish more books this year instead of just, reading them and then just putting them away. It just wasn't my thing. It was very unnecessary and very boring. But anyway, the last book that I read in January, which was definitely one of the best books ever, was The Viscount Who Loved Me, which is the of course, story of Anthony and Kate in Bridgerton. So the funny thing is, I don't know if I've ever talked to y'all about this, but I love Bridgerton. It is literally one of my favorite shows. I am obsessed with Queen Charlotte, which was the spinoff, of course, because yes, black sister girl, female main character. And that story was just so heartbreaking yet so beautiful at the same time. But season 2 of Bridgerton is my favorite season all day long. I don't know, all day long. Wow. Anyway, that's my favorite season because it is perfection. It is the pain of it all, the agony of the waiting, the slow burn of it all, the enemies to lovers, everything in that. In the love declarations. Oh my gosh. I can sit and recite all of Antony's monologues right now. What did I tell you about you and your rules? But anyway, we love them. And so the Viscount Who Loved Me, of course, is very, very different from season 2 of Bridgerton. There were certain things that were the same, like the Pall Mall, that was the same thing. I think Antony does say the bane of my existence and the object of all my desires, except it's like, you know, what Kate represented to Antony, the bane of his existence and the object of his desires. Not all his desires, you know, I was like, ugh. But I have to look at them as separate entities, but I really enjoyed the novel. The novel was really, really, really good. I finished it, I think, in a day and a half, maybe 2 days and a half. I really enjoyed it. It was so cute. It was very scandalous. There were a lot more scenes in the book than there were in the show. So I thought that was interesting that the show didn't do that. They wanted to make us wait because we had to wait to episode 6 for a kiss between the two. I mean, we had a lot of almost, but the first kiss between the two was in the show, was episode 6. I believe their first kiss, and this was like within the first few hundred pages, or like first 100 or so pages. The thing was like page 10 something. It was like in the early 100s. So thinking about that, I think, you know, it was interesting how Netflix kind of tackled the story and whatnot. I really loved the Viscount Who Loved Me. It was really good. All right, everyone, thank you so much for checking out this video. Comment down below to talk about some of the reads that you've already had in the month of January and some of the books that you're planning on reading in 2024. In 2024, or February, which is my birthday month and Black History Month, I am planning to only be reading novels, aside from novels I have to read for class, by Black authors, because yes, I will say this year that is my main goal, to read majority Black authors, because yes, we need to be supporting us tremendously more, and we also need to especially be celebrating Black female authors, which is what I've predominantly been reading this year, aside from Clockwork Prince, Viscount Who Loved Me, and Iron Flame. But I will say all of these novels have been written by female writers. But we're going to be reading a lot more Black female authors, just women of color in general this year. I really stressed for everyone on the channel to also do so. Expand your horizons. Let's do it. It's great. Their books are great. And I've been loving all these little love stories. They've been adorable. But anyway, let's wrap this video up. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't give it a thumbs down. That's just rude. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. And I shall see you in the next one. All right. Bye.